I think there's a lot of people changing their mind about how to approach the federal government in this particular political climate, and we all want to be part of that change.
But is he fanning? Is there any concern that he might be fanning the flames of separation by trying to address the frustration some of the people in the province have?
Well, there is one point I'll make. As a Saskatchewan boy coming to Ottawa to try and do my very best to represent our province, the whole premise is to make sure that all levels of government understand what frustrates our province. And I think the Prime Minister has a good handle on that. We're going to keep explaining some of the issues as best we can at what plagues the province. But clearly, what we want to do is tell Saskatchewan, you're a big part of Canada. We are going to work very hard as an MP to engage the provincial government and bring forth their concerns to Ottawa so we can be one big happy family.
But does this mean the Prime Minister is going to have to do things like repeal Bill C-69, which is one of the main irritants for people in Saskatchewan?
That's in reference to the pipeline?
Yes.
I think one of the things that the Premier or the Prime Minister announced yesterday, I believe, that they're going to engage the provincial environmental assessment process, which is a big policy shift, and that's all intended to empower the province to be part of an exciting oil and gas sector.
Will it help to have the First Minister's meeting in Saskatchewan, first time in 40 years that the First Ministers will be in the province?
Absolutely. I think it'll just really reiterate that Saskatchewan has and will always be an important part of Canada. As a Saskatchewan representative that is empowered to do the rural development perspective, I think engaging with the premiers, being in some of the prairie provinces for these very crucial meetings is really good indicators of a serious Prime Minister that wants to get the province united, strong, and as independent as possible.
What does Prime Minister Carney need to do differently than his predecessor, former Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, to manage this relationship with the West?
I think he's on the right path of doing that.
How so?
First of all, he's given a lot of consideration to his cabinet to ensure that people like myself are part of the process and are part of the cabinet process to ensure that their issues are being heard. And Alberta's involved, Manitoba's involved. I think he's got really good rapport with a lot of the premiers today. So those are all positive signs that he's quite serious of bringing this country together.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Well, it's obviously very exciting. We've had some provincial experience before, but this is obviously grander and greater, and the challenges are certainly there, so we're going to start getting to work right away.
As a team, how do you address national unity? Is that one of the things broadly discussed today moving forward?
Well, as we all know, we're one Canada, and I think the Prime Minister has been a champion of advocating for one great, big, happy family called Canada, and I think all Canadians are in.
What do you think that audience can really
There's separation talk in Alberta, some of that melting away in Saskatchewan. Just what do you make of this sentiment growing, especially after Carney won the term here?
Well, I think the Prime Minister's made a lot of fantastic moves in terms of reaching out and having a First Minister's Conference in Saskatchewan. I'm a Saskatchewan boy. I love, well, I should say older gentleman, but I love Canada. My father was a World War II vet. He was a very strong advocate for Canada. He had just Canada running through his veins. So I think overall, Canada will stay strong. Canada will be united and will be a powerful force worldwide in terms of the economy and so on and so forth. And our champion and our Prime Minister has been drilling that into our heads every day as an opportunity to tell Canada, let's stay solid.
One question on pipelines. Mr. Guilbeault just said a few hours ago that we might not need a new pipeline in Canada. Do you agree with him?
Well, first of all, if you look at the history of Prime Minister Harper, never delivered one pipeline. Our Prime Minister is now saying we're going to work with the provinces and they'll have the environmental authority to approve pipelines as we move forward. So he is reaching out to a lot of the provinces in the partnership mode, and I think it's an exciting time for our oil and gas sector here in the province.
Is there a contradiction between Minister Guilbeault and your Prime Minister?
No, there is not. We're all united on that front, and I think it's fantastic for the oil and gas sector. Don't forget, folks, we're third worldwide in terms of production of oil and gas. We want to build on that success. So clearly, I think Alberta and Saskatchewan have a great opportunity to build on their expertise in oil and gas and join the rest of Canada in strengthening our trade worldwide.
So you
Simple
think
as
there's a
that.
need? You think there's a need for a new pipeline in Canada?
Wherever it warrants and wherever the provinces are advocating, I think the federal government wants to cooperate as much as they can.
So that's a yes.
Yeah, where's the washroom? I'm new in this place, so I'll be 1 minute.
Do you speak French?
En petit peu.
Petit peu?
But I'm going to learn.
Okay. Okay.